Broadcasting live from Dar es Salaam, this is TBC News, our top stories. Tanzania delisted from high-risk list. We explore why it matters.
Definitely, when we were in the grey list or in the blacklist for the EU, there is a lot of benefits that we could not get.
Nation mourns as Chadema founder and veteran economist dies. Good evening, I am Chedi Mparanyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBC Online and also get all the latest news through Instagram, Facebook and X pages at TBC Online. The European Union has officially removed Tanzania from its high-risk list, signaling stronger financial system integrity, improved investor confidence, smoother EU financial flows and reduced transaction costs in the country. This delisting is a result of Tanzania's significant reforms, including strengthening anti-money laundering laws, improving transparency, and enhancing international cooperation. Starting January 29th, financial and trade transactions between Tanzania and EU countries will be easier, faster, and cheaper. This move is expected to open doors for new investments, increase the competitiveness of Tanzanian products in the international markets, as well as strengthen Tanzania's position as a safe trading hub in Africa. More on this achievement, we are joined by Commissioner of the Anti-Money Laundering Unit, Ministry of Finance, Majaba Shabani Magana, talking to my colleague, Carolyn Maleo.
We clearly understand that Tanzania has been removed recently from the list of the high-risk country. But first and foremost, why was the country even placed in the list in the first place?
Oh, pleasure. That is great, Carol. Why Tanzania was put in that high-risk list of many countries, it's because of the evaluation that was taken back in 2018 by the Financial Action Task Force, and this is the international watchdog that is designated for fighting against money laundering, financing of terrorists, as well as financing of proliferation. And according to the evaluation that they conducted of our country in 2018, it was clearly identified that there were some gaps within our legal frameworks, as well as the results or the effectiveness of what we are doing as authorities. And we were given initially a period of 1 year where we are supposed to close all the gaps, and unfortunately we could not do them in that period. So they extended again to us another 2 years, and which was the highest period that they gave us. And thanks to God, after the president, our President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan met with all the government authorities and requested us to work and to put a plan over which we are supposed to work and come out with the results. So in a period of 2 years that we were given, we were capable of delivering all the 21 action points that we were supposed to conclude. And thanks to God, in June 2025, the country was removed from the list of grey list countries. And actually that is, I've told you why we were grey listed and how we do to get out of that list. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that explanation. Can you tell us, what do we mean by money laundering at a national level for the sake of someone who doesn't understand?
Oh, exactly. That is a very nice question. Actually, when we talk about money laundering, we mean that it's the action of using illicit funds which were obtained from illegal actions, okay? When you want to use such kind of funds into a formal system where you can now benefit from the illicit obtained funds, that is that action of ensuring that you get use of that fund, which was initially obtained from, we call it offenses, predicate offenses. That action is what we call actually money laundering. It's you are trying to show us that this money is yours, while it is not yours. Okay, you want to show that maybe I've invested, maybe I've built a house, but when you trace back the source of the money that you used to build that house, we cannot link them with your source of incomes, and you cannot defend it, okay? And most of these predicate offenses in our country might be seen in the areas of tax evasion, when one evades pay tax, government taxes, legitimate government taxes. That fund, if you use them for your own functions, that is the act of money laundering. And also when you are involved in corruption actions and you use those funds for your benefits, that fund that you have obtained from corruption, you're actually laundering money. You are actually trying to show that they're yours. And if you have stolen, and also if you have participated in illegal human trafficking, that also forms another form of predicate offenses that amounts to money laundering. And maybe to another level also when you have killed one of our natural resources, maybe you have killed our animals, that also forms source of income, which is linked to money laundering. There is a lot, but basically is when you are trying to show that this fund is yours, while initially it was not yours, and you want to benefit from that fund, that is when we say you are actually doing the act of money laundering.
So what should we expect maybe 10 years to come?
Oh, in the next 10 years to come, we should expect these implementation of these laws involving a lot of sophisticated technologies, because these things, determination, for instance, it comes with a lot of challenges to determine that this person has laundered money. There is a lot of challenge that we encounter in such kind of situations. But right now, for instance, we have managed to establish a platform in our website at the the Financial Intelligence Unit website, where anybody, any Tanzania, of course we have reporting persons that have been identified by these laws. But again, we have went further, where we have gone further to the extent that a common Tanzanian can visit our website and report any suspicious act that has been done by any of us, and we receive them and we act on them directly. So if you visit our website on the platform called the whistleblowing platform, you can report anybody, you can report any institution, and the Financial Intelligence Unit of the United Republic of Tanzania will get such kind of information. So the future is bright, and the future is promising.
And before we talk about transactions, you spoke about whistleblowers. How will you ensure the safety of these whistleblowers?
Oh, great. According to the platform, you are free to disclose your identity or not. And it's just a platform when it's like you are reporting while you are already inside the Financial Intelligence Unit. So no one that will track you, no one that will come to actually do anything against you. And actually, according to the law, according to our law, that Anti-Money Laundering Act, anybody who is reporting cannot be taken into court of law for any breach, because we try to safeguard the interest as well as the safeness of everybody who is reporting.
What should a common Tanzanian now expect as of January 29th this year, as far as financial and trade transactions between Tanzania and the European Union countries are concerned?
Oh, great. Definitely, when we were in the grey list or in the blacklist for the EU, there is a lot of benefits that we could not get by the virtue of being in that list. For instance, our relationship between our local banks and international banks, especially those based in Europe, were limited. We were supposed to undergo a lot of due diligence, and that kind of due diligence is also costly to us. Not only that, the relationship with our local banks was very tight. Some banks were supposed to place some just idle funds with those European banks to give trust to them that whatever transaction that is happening for our people is okay. And in case of anything, you can deduct money from the account that you have placed with you. So you find that these banks, instead of using these funds to give loans to our citizens, but again, they were using these funds to secure trust within the big financial, the big financial institutions, the commercial banks.
Some politicians, scholars, and citizens have described the first governor of the Bank of Tanzania and founder of the Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo, Chadema, Edwin Mtei, to be an individual who left an unforgettable legacy in the country's economic and democratic political reforms. The former Chadema chairman, Freeman Mbowe, says the late Mtei has been an important link in national political matters and a faithful national servant in his duties. Here's a story by Sachilela Kongola, read by Caroline Maleo.
Hometown of the former and first governor of the Bank of Tanzania and founder of Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo, Edwin Mtei, is mourning. Mourners describe the late Edwin Mtei to have been an individual of high value to the nation in his hometown, politically and economically.
He was someone who built strong relationships with people at all times. He was not confrontational, he was organized, hardworking, and did not discriminate in his friendships, both within and outside his political party. I thank God for the gift of life of the late Mtei and for the contribution he made. We believe his name will continue to live on through the legacy he left behind during his lifetime.
Regarding the burial, he says various procedures are still underway.
The elder passed away yesterday at 10 p.m. and the burial will take place on Saturday here at his home.
The late Edwin Mtei served in various high-profile positions, including being the first governor of the Bank of Tanzania from 1966 to 1974, and the founder of Chama cha Demokrasia na Maendeleo, Chadema, which is now celebrating 33 years since its registration. Caroline Maleo, TBC News.
Zanzibar President and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, says his government will continue to improve the Unguja and Pemba port services to ensure better transportation services and reduce port congestion and delays to stimulate further economic activities. Dr. Mwinyi made their statement in Zanzibar while launching the Kilimanjaro Boat No. 9, expressing his desire for more local investments in major projects like tourism and the need for peace and unity for Zanzibar's development.
The government is continuing with the construction of Fumba Port along with other ports in Unguja and Pemba. To meet the country's growing demands, it is our hope that these initiatives will significantly stimulate economic growth by improving the efficiency of the passenger and cargo services. At the same time, we are witnessing major transformations across various business sectors, including maritime transport. The vessel has been equipped with modern sewage treatment system, fully aligned with the blue economy vision and protection of Zanzibar's marine environment. Beyond its technical quality, the true value of these vessels lies in the economic contribution and its impact on livelihoods of our people. It will increase passenger capacity between Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar, thereby boosting tourist arrivals to Zanzibar.
Mwinyi has reaffirmed the island's government's commitment to create a better and friendlier environment to attract more investors and provide tax incentives as well as eliminate bureaucracy. Director General of the Tanzania's Information and Communication Technologies Commission, Dr. Nkundu Masaga, says digital transformation is the driver for nation's development vision DIRA 2050, a certain status to be designed to create jobs and contribute substantially into the nation's GDP. He made the remarks during the second day of the Tanzania annual ICT conference being held in Dar es Salaam, insisting on the great need of proper implementation of the pillars of digital transformation.
Focus is because in the Vision 2050 of our country, digital transformation has been identified as a driver for the vision. And as we know, if the driver is slow, it will take time for us to achieve the goals that we have of $1 trillion US dollar economy by 2050. So we want to make sure that we accelerate growth of the economical sectors so that we are going to achieve that in a very, if possible, short time. But what we are looking for startups that are led by youth is to achieve two things. One is to ensure that those startups, they create jobs for youth, decent jobs, and also to make digital economy to contribute immensely in the GDP of our country.
Furthermore, stresses on the inclusive digital transformation that bridges the urban-rural gap by ensuring economic growth and better services through improving infrastructure disparities and literacy gaps, while some of the participants of the conference praised Tanzania's ICT sector.
Digital transformation has 5 pillars, and the pillars are digital skills. So if we want to reach people in the rural areas, we have to ensure that they have skills. That's one thing. 2, we have to make sure that those platforms that they're using, first of all, they're secure digitally, and also they can be trusted. So we are talking about things that has to do with cyber security, protection of personal data protection, issue of privacy and consumer protection. So that's 2. 3 is to ensure that we have telecommunication services, most likely 4G, because 4G is the internet which is much, much faster and is able to carry all of the applications. And then to build the digital economy, and then the last one is to promote digital research, digital innovation, and digital entrepreneurship. So these are the things that we are looking at whenever we want to stimulate digital economy in the rural places.
To me, Tanzania is growing rapidly, and the digital transformation is the driver. So I think there's a lot of possibilities in Tanzania for upcoming years, because digitalization is going in the public sector, but also in the private sector.
Our ICT infrastructure in the country is very well improved, so that it can assist, or is assisting us right now, in terms of digital medicine, for example, economy, okay, and also in enabling the remote educations, e-education systems.
I see that it is in a very good place. There's, as said, there are a lot of companies that are also growing up here, which is very important that you have your own ICT knowledge and ICT companies working to solve your problems.
This year's conference focuses on digital transformation that drives social impacts and technological innovations for a prosperous, just, inclusive, and self-reliant nation, with Nations Dira 2050 at the center, prioritizing special groups like youth and women. The government, through the Tanzania Investment Authority, TISEZA, in collaboration with the Tanzania National Chamber of Commerce, TNCC, and the East African Business Consortium, has begun to empower stakeholders, especially youth in the northern region, so as to identify and make good use of opportunities, including those available in the tourism sector, as the country prepares to host AFCON tournament to be held in the country in 2027. Speaking to TBC News in Arusha at a stakeholder discussion, the TISEZA Director General, together with the top management of the leaders of Tanzania National Chamber of Commerce and the East African Business Consortium, urge youth to be curious and willing to learn with determination in seizing economic opportunities.
Tumeleta ujumbe kwa wawekezaji wa Arusha.
We have brought a message to investors in Arusha that first, there are opportunities that support and empower Tanzanians to invest at an affordable cost. Secondly, we are informing them that due to the economic opportunities available in this region, especially in tourism and mining, there are both tax and non-tax incentives in place.
Tunapoenda kwenye Vision 2050.
As we move towards Vision 2050, it is essential to start preparing people to take advantage of the opportunities available. That is why TISEZA is bringing these opportunities, while we are contributing mileage by working with banks so that young people can be to seize these opportunities early.
Chamber of Commerce TNCC outlines the institution's goals and strategies in empowering youth through financial education, entrepreneurship, business opportunities, and regional marketing.
Sasa hivi tuna promote.
Right now, we are motivating Tanzanians to take control of their economy so that the opportunities within our country benefits Tanzanian first.
Chamber of Commerce tumeingia MOU na nchi mbalimbali.
As the Chamber of Commerce, we have signed memorandum of understanding with the various countries around the world to ensure that international opportunities are connected with the local business people. With AFCON 2027 coming up, Arusha being a strategic tourism city must prepare so that its residents can full benefits from this opportunity.
Kwangu mimi nimechukulia ni kama mentorship conference imefanyika.
Personally, I have taken this as a mentorship conference because it has opened our eyes to many hidden opportunities that we are not aware of.
For decades, Tanzania stood at the heart of Africa's liberation struggle, offering land, leadership, and unwavering solidarity to freedom fighters across Southern Africa. Under the visionary leadership of Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, the country became a frontline state in the fight against colonialism and apartheid. Today, Tanzania is transforming that historic sacrifice into economic freedom and regional prosperity. Karen Maleo has more details.
Utanzania wangu ni muungano wetu na tofauti zetu zisibadilike tu.
When Tanzania gained independence in 1961, its first president, Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, made a declaration that will define the nation's identity. Africa cannot be free until all African countries are free. Guided by this principle, Tanzania chose solidarity over isolation, becoming the backbone of liberation movements across Southern Africa. Dar es Salaam quickly evolved into the political and diplomatic headquarters of Africa's freedom struggles. Liberation movements from Mozambique, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Namibia, Angola, and Zambia established offices in Tanzania, finding not only refuge, but strategic and diplomatic support. Tanzania offered far more than moral backing. It provided military training camps, transit corridors, diplomatic recognition, and logistical assistances to freedom fighters. Areas such as Kongwa, Bagamoyo, Morogoro, Nachingwea, Mbeya, and Tunduma became historic grounds where liberation personnel were trained and prepared for battle. Despite being a young and economically fragile nation, Tanzania committed its limited resources to the cause of African freedom, often at a great national sacrifice. On the international stage, the late President Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere emerged as one of Africa's most respected voices. Through the United Nations, the Organization of African Unity, in global diplomatic forums, Tanzania consistently exposed the injustices of colonial rule and apartheid policy, mobilizing international pressure against minority regimes. This leadership gave birth to frontline states, which later evolved into the Southern Africa Development Coordination Conferences, now known as the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC. The objective was clear: political liberation first, followed by collective economic independence. Because of Tanzania's steadfast commitment, Southern Africa today stands free. Mozambique, Zimbabwe, Namibia, South Africa, and Angola gained sovereignty, partly due to sacrifices made on Tanzanian soil. Tanzania never demanded repayment. Its reward was Africa's freedom and enduring regional unity. Today, Tanzania is building on that liberation legacy by pursuing economic freedom, regional trade, and strategic self-reliance, turning solidarity into shared prosperity. According to the Bank of Tanzania's 2024-2025 report, Tanzania now leads the East African region in exports, selling more goods to neighboring countries than it imports, marking a major shift towards a trade surplus and economic strength. Furthermore, major national projects now reflects Tanzania's continued leadership in the region. The Julius Nyerere hydropower project, one of Africa's largest energy investments, is strengthening national power supply while supporting industrial growth across the region. The standard gauge railway is transforming Tanzania into a key logistics hub, linking landlocked SADC countries to the Indian Ocean and significantly reducing the cost of trade. On the other hand, the expansion of the Dar es Salaam port has positioned Tanzania as a strategic maritime gateway for Southern and Central Africa, boosting regional commerce. Together with major road networks, natural gas developments, and regional pipelines, these projects are deepening economic integration, fulfilling Mwalimu Nyerere's vision that political freedom must be followed by economic independence. From hosting liberation movements to leading regional economic transformation, Tanzania's journey reflects the true meaning of freedom, sacrifice, unity, and shared progress. Once a century of Africa's freedom fighters, Tanzania today stands as a pillar of regional stability and economic opportunity. This is Tanzania. Caroline Maleo, TBC News.
Utanzania wangu ni muungano wetu na tofauti zetu zisibadilike tu.
News. Azam FC head coach Florent Ibenge says they dropped 2 points against tough team Fountain Gate in their home ground Chamazi complex, but they will work harder in the coming matches of Tanzania Premier League to get enough points and close the gap between Simba Sports Club and Young Africans. However, the match has given them a lesson as they are preparing to face Nairobi United in CAF Confederation Cup group stage in Nairobi on Sunday. Speaking after the match, Ibenge added that Fountain Gate was tough to beat as they applied style of concentration in defense, and it became difficult to open them and creating scoring opportunities. However, they will improve that in the coming matches.
Today we didn't find the solution against their low block and their good block. So we have to congratulate them, and for us, we saw that we have a lot of job to do for that kind of team. Should to be faster than how we play today. And as I told you, we learn also today in order to win the next one if we have an opponent like that.
That marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Cheri Mpanyanga. Have a lovely, lovely night.